Do you struggle with the top tier grind with today's sponsor, 3GE for War Thunder? You might be able to make it a little bit easier. All you need to do is click the link in the description, download the app, complete some simple task and you'll get some small amounts of golden eagles. Now if you sign up with my promo code EPGEK, not only will you get 10 GE upon signing in, but every GE that you guys earn, I will get as well, that I will be able to give away again in huge batches a few times every year. Welcome back. Fox 3 missiles have been oppressing the top tier matchmaker for a little bit, and if you didn't have them, you were struggling. And it didn't matter if you were stock or if your plane just simply didn't have them, you were definitely at a massive disadvantage. Gaijin is looking to change this by doing two things. They are adding decompression. We are going to go to 13.7, which is 2 jumps, which is kind of surprising because normally they only do 1. And they are adding stock, yes, without upgrades, Fox 3 missiles, which is very much welcome. I was cooking up a video where I'm like talking about not having Fox 3s, having the stock grind, and it's absolutely terrible. This will alleviate a little bit of that issue, but it also cooks up a few other ones. Yes, everything above 10.3 or 10.0 to 13.0 is moving up. Now overall, this gives a lot of breathing room. But you know that when they change this many planes, there is bound to be something that goes wrong. Now, some of these are pretty questionable, but the main thing that I want to look at that they very much forgot is the fact that 9.3 is indirectly going to be buffed by this. The F-104, the MiG-19 and the Ariete, just for starters, are absolutely ruining low-tier jets. These things are 9.3. We have the Yak-23 at 8.7, which goes about 400 kilometers an hour slower than the F-104. The F-104 is very oppressive right now. The Ariete isn't as much because there isn't that many. And the MiG-19 is not the easiest plane to fly despite being completely busted at 9.3. Why doesn't it get moved up? Because it doesn't have flares, and it goes for all 3 of these planes. But if these planes are getting up, like the Su-25s, the A-10s, you know, then I think that we can give some more breathing room to 9.0 and 9.3 as well. Move something like the F-104 2 BR steps up as well. And now the MiG-15 and the A5 Sabre doesn't have to fight 262 A1s anymore. Or rather the other way around. Because of course the MiG-15 is pretty happy that it gets to fight something like a 262 A1. I think that decompression goes much further than simply 10.0. I think that the change between 10.0 and 12.3, where they all don't have IRCCM missiles, they all have flares, fight very similarly with some minor changes in there. However, a plane like the F-104 being 300 to 400 kilometers an hour quicker than everything it sees is basically uncounterable. So I think it's very important to decompress the entire game and not just look at the top BR where it matters a lot because you have Fox 3, IRCCM. That makes a drastic impact. But down there's also a lot going on. But let's take a look at some of the more questionable changes. Because, well, some of them are a little bit funny. Let's start with the F-16A. So we have the F-16 MLU ADF, the French one with the 9Ms, by the way. And we have the nets, which are all going to 13.0. Makes sense, right? Because the F-16 is a very good plane right now. And then we have the F-16AJ in the Japanese tech tree, which for some reason is a lower BR despite having the same flight model and having radar missiles, which, mind you, are pretty good right now. It can still see top tier though, just like the F4EJ Kai. Not sure who cooked that one up, but it is kind of questionable. We have the, let's see where it is, we have the JH7A, which is the same BR as the Mirage 2000 CS4 and CS5, which I think is absolutely hilarious. And we have the F5 FCU at the same BR as the 5E. So where's the FCU? We have the FCU, which is at 11.3. And I do think that moving these planes up is very important if you do want to decompress properly. But when we go to the F5E, the Chinese one for example, it is also 11.3. We have decompression while simultaneously adding planes with better and more missiles at the same battle rating bracket. So we have planes that are basically identical at the same BR, but we also have planes like the, where is it? The F4F Phantom. Where is the Bozo? F4F early, mind you, this thing does not have flares, at 11.0. We have the F4C at 10.7. We have the F1 CT, which is the, where is it? F1 CT 12.3. Pardon? Why is the F1C higher BR? It makes very little sense. We also have the Kefir, the C7 going up in BR, which I think is okay. Very much needed. C7 now without the wing ripping might actually be pretty pork to fly. I'm gonna be looking to fly this thing very soon here. But we have the Kefir C2, I think it is. Yes. 11.7, same BR as the MLD. A little bit questionable if you ask me. We have the JA37D at 12.0, which is kind of okay. But we have the... Where is the C? Is the C not moving? Wait. Oh, it stays at... The J37C stays at 11.0. Which is now the same BR as the FREV early. The F8U is not going up in BR. It remains at 10.0. But the F8E is going to 10.7. And the main issue with the F8U is that it rips its wings off. And as I discussed earlier, right now the flight models have all been changed a little bit. So instead of ripping instantly the second you hit that threshold of the amount of G's that you can hit until your wings fall off, you now have a bit of a timer. So you can actually sit in that area. So instead of blowing up instantly, you need to put these forces on a prolonged time on your wings before they rip off. Now they don't take damage. It's not like you have 4 seconds in the entire game. The second you start hitting normal G's again, it resets. So in that sense, it is very predictable. But these changes make very little sense in the grand scheme of things. There's a lot of good here, of course. But it is just... It's a bit funny. The EPGEK seeing... Or being able to see... oh, this is the regular one. That's 11.3. That's, I think... kind of funny because this is a very sad plane. Good news though, to go back, Phantoms can no longer see F-16s, which I think is an incredible change. But the EPGEK, for example, seeing... I think this is really, really funny. We have the EPGEK at the same BR as the F-14B. Like, come on, bro. It's, yeah, let's look at another one. We have another one. The non-Fox 3 Gripen is now at the same BR as an F-16A. It's questionable. Aviate Plus going up is of course a great thing because we don't want these R-77s and shit, or the MRAMs at this lower BR. But then we have the MiG-29 SMT, which also gets R-77s, and it's staying at 13.3. Can't we just move these planes even higher? I think that we need a lot more breathing room than we have right now. And a lot of these things just make very little sense. Now, I don't want to go over all of them. And of course, in the grand scheme of things, I'm very glad that there is some decompression. That shit is getting moved up. And I don't mind that some of these planes are going to be absolutely abysmally bad. We can fix that with time. I think the main issue that we have right now is that we need to be very much aware of very strong planes that aren't getting moved up. Or planes like the F-104 that are going to get even more breathing room because their actual only counters are being moved up in BR. So yeah, that is the small update of today. Thank you all for watching. If you have more funny things that I missed in these battle rating changes, feel free to let me know in the comments. I very much look forward to see some of the absolute dumbest changes that you'll ever see. Also keep in mind that the F5C here is getting moved up to 11.0. And let's see if the F4S is going up. Yes, it is. It's going to 12.0 as well. Which means that, yes, you will still be able to farm them if you're flying the AV-8B Plus with MRAMs. Do with that information whatever you want. So yeah, that is basically all I have for you today. Thank you all for watching. If you have anything in the comments, let me know. But I'm looking forward to this shitpost because it is going to get pretty spicy.